Students, today we will discuss about the female reproductive system. Okay, earlier we have already discussed about the male reproductive system. Today is female reproductive system. As we know that in female also there are two types of stages of the structure, that is the primary female reproductive structure and secondary female reproductive structure. Means the primary is only ovary, and other structures are the accessory structures. So here this is the longitudinal section of the female reproductive system, and externally we can only see or we can only observe the structure of labia major and labia minor, and entire structure is located within the female body, and the female reproductive system is located in the central part of the pelvic region. Okay, and this structure means the female reproductive system is divided into two. That is, the first is the primary ovary and the secondary structure is the oviduct. So here one pair of ovaries, one pair of oviduct, this one and this one pair oviduct, single uterus, only one uterus, and single cervix, and this is the birth canal, which is also called as vagina, and the vagina is externally protected by labia minor and labia major. Dear students, we will discuss about the ovary just after finishing this structure. And ovary, the length of ovary is 2 to 4 centimeter, and a pair of ovary, both are one located at the lateral side of the pelvic girdle, and ovary is oval in shape and actually almond in shape, and which is attached by the ovarian ligaments. So this is the ovarian ligament, and this ovarian ligament is the smooth tissues, smooth muscles, and which are laterally attached, and this ovary is protected by a silky peritoneum membrane, because when ovary will release ovum, the ovum is picked up by finger-like projections, which is called as fimbriae. This is the fimbriae. That is the fimbriae, and this is the part of the oviduct. So oviduct is divided into three parts, that is the infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus. Infundibulum is the opening part and it will attach to the uterus. So infundibulum is the flask shaped like this structure, and bearing finger-like structure, which is called as fimbriae, and this fimbriae will helps in the picking of the ovum, which is released by the ovary. As soon as ovum is received by the fimbriae, it will enter into the infundibulum, and then it will travel towards the ampulla. So ampulla is the broadest part. and then this ovum will move towards the isthmus. Okay, the wall of the oviduct, when we cut the section of oviduct, we can see that this is, suppose this is the wall of, and this is the tubular structure of the oviduct, which is also called as fallopian tube. The inner wall having the ciliated epithelial tissue. This is the ciliated epithelial tissue. Ciliated epithelial tissues. These ciliated epithelial tissues helps in the movement of ovum. This is ovum. So this ovum will move when the fallopian tube performs peristalsis movement. Means this cilia will help like this in movement, and it will come towards the isthmus, and the junction of ampulla and isthmus is the site of fertilization of ovum. So this is very important point for objective as well as in the subjective examination, that which is the site, which is the actual site of the fertilization of ovum. The actual site is the ampullary isthmus junction. So now this ovum, and the my meaning is that the future of ovum, whether it will fertilize or not. Suppose it will fertilized, it converts like zygote, and then the zygote will divide into 2 and then 4, and then it will undergoes further a type of meiotic division which is known as cleavage, and convert into 8 celled stage, 16 celled stage, then 32 celled stage, and further division. We will discuss later. And if ovum will not fertilize, the ovum will degenerate at the time of onset of menstrual cycle. Dear students, the length of fallopian tube or oviduct is approximately 10 to 12 centimeter. This is the length of fallopian tube, 10 to 12 centimeter. Now we will discuss about the uterus. Single uterus is present. This is the muscular cavity, and this is the opening part. Here is the cervix. So this is the opening part, means opening portion of the uterus, and this is the base. So this is the broadest part. So this is the broadest part. This is the upper and broadest part, and this is called as uterine fundus. Uterine fundus, and this part is called as uterine body. And this is the cervical area of the uterus. The wall of uterus is or having 3 layers, means the wall of uterus has 3 layers, composed of 3 layers. That is the outermost or external is the perimetrium, Middle one is the myometrium and the innermost endometrium. The endometrium is the glandular tissue, glandular layer. So this is the glandular layer. Endometrium is glandular. So naturally it will secrete something. Myometrium is composed of smooth muscles. So it will contract or relax at the time of birth of baby. Whereas perimetrium is the outer epithelial squamous tissue composed, which is elastic and having some connective tissues. Dear students, metrium means, or endometrium means metrium. Metrium word is derived from the goddess of Yunnan, and metrium means mother. So this is the site where a fetus or an embryo develops as a fetus, and then fetus will convert as a fully developed young baby. So this is the birth site, this is the mother site. So this is a very respectable word, metrium. Metrium means mother, and mother is always having very emotional and worship view. Dear students, the opening of the uterus having the cervix, and this cervix is blocked at the time of pregnancy, and this is called as vagina, which is having the folded striated tissues. This is the folded striated tissues, and the vaginal orifice having the Bartholian glands, This vaginal orifice having the Bartholian glands. So it has some secretion, mucus-like secretion, which makes slippery to the wall of vagina at the time of copulation. The vaginal orifice is protected by two folds of the skin. That is, the inner is the labia minor, that is a pair of fold, and external is the labia major. This is also pair of fold, and these labia major is the elongation of the lower abdominal skin cells, and labia major is also compared as a scrotum of the male reproductive part. Dear students, in this structure, the endometrium will form, means at the time of proliferation during the menstrual cycle, and or end of the menstrual cycle, the proliferation of the endometrium takes place, because endometrium is I have already told that it is the glandular tissues, and it will secrete and forms, and it is made up of fresh connective tissues. So it is the deposition of the blood which has the oxygenated blood, and at the time of menstrual cycle, this red colored endometrium will erode this red color of the endometrium, that is the innermost layer of the uterus, will erode or degenerate, and it will comes through the cervical opening through the vagina and come out from the female body as the form of menses. So this is means this layer forms every time before the menstrual cycle, and it is the connective tissue, oxygenated blood cells having, which helps in the implantation. We will discuss later. So now in this structure we will discuss about the internal structure of the ovary. Dear students, this is a structure of an ovary, and we have cut this TS and this view, and as we have already discussed that a pair of ovary is located in the pelvic region and which is attached by the ovarian ligament. So this is the ovarian ligament, and this structure is the ovary. Externally means ovary has the most outer structure is the visceral peritoneum, which is a thin layer and just attached to the epithelial germinal tissue. But actually means before puberty, and just you go back in the developmental stage of the fetus, that is, this structure is the actually epithelial squamous tissue. So this epithelial squamous tissue is converted into the epithelial germinal layer or tissues, and this epithelial germinal tissues give rise a cluster of a bunch of primary follicle cells, means that is a bunch of follicle cells, and gradually it will develop from primary follicle to secondary follicle, then tertiary follicle, and then mature Graafian follicle. So actually, as soon as a female enters into the puberty, then the formed number of follicle cells is 60,000 to 80,000 follicle cells. So now from this egg nest only one primary follicle cells come out. So this primary follicle cells contains primary oocyte, and primary oocyte means this structure, this primary oocyte having diploid in a structure. So this primary and means primary follicle has the primary oocyte, and which develops into secondary follicle by layering of extra granulosal cells, and after that this secondary follicle is converted into tertiary follicle by formation of additional granulosa cells around the oocyte. And the most distinguished feature between secondary follicle and tertiary follicle is the formation of antrum. So in the tertiary follicle, the formation of antrum, and this antrum has fluid, means antrum is the fluid filled cavity, and after that tertiary follicle is converted into Graafian follicle cells, that is the mature Graafian follicle cells, and which contains this red circular structure, ovum. And as soon as it will mature, means when the menstrual cycle takes place, and the day means the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, there is the slight pinch of the epithelial germinal tissues, and that is the visceral peritoneum, and from this the ovum comes out. That is the ovum. We will discuss the structure of ovum after the end of this part of the video. And as soon as ovum is released from the pinch of the wall of the ovary, this empty Graafian follicle cells is converted into the corpus luteum. This corpus luteum has some blood cells and it converts and secretes lutein, and it also contains some fibrin, and gradually this lutein is the yellowish substance, and this yellowish substance gives the color of yellowish corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum is temporary endocrine cells. So this corpus luteum behaves like the temporary endocrine cells. So naturally, when its behavior like the endocrine cells, it secretes the estradiol hormone and in the significant amount of the progesterone. The secretion of the progesterone from the corpus luteum will met the condition of the uterus for two purposes. One purpose for the fertilization capacity provides, as well as if the ovum will not fertilized, then this progesterone will helps in the formation of endometrium for fresh menstrual cycle. Dear students, within the ovary, means under this layer of the covering layer of the ovary, that is the epithelial germinal tissue, there is another layer, that is the tunica albuginea. That is the another layer. That is this layer is the tunica albuginea, and within this, that is the stroma is present. Stroma, this central mass, and the peripheral stroma is the dense, so it's known as cortex, whereas central is the medulla. Dear students, in the internal structure of the ovary, there is the several blood cells, and which blood cells release the connective tissues, that is the blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue, and several blood capillaries, opening of the blood capillaries. So this structure means this internal structure of the ovary provides the female gamete, and this ovum is the haploid. One point is a very noticeable, that the presence of oocyte, which is 2N, this structure, this point, the oocyte is surrounded by primary follicle, that is the diploid. The secondary follicle means it converts into tertiary follicle, and then tertiary follicle is converted into the Graafian follicle, which has the ovum. So this ovum is the N. Clear? And this ovum is also treated as secondary oocyte. This is the primary oocyte and this is the secondary oocyte. and when it will divide, first polar cell is formed, and after that dear students, after the formation of corpus luteum, that is the temporary endocrine cells and which secretes the progesterone hormone, this corpus luteum is converted into corpus albicans, and after that the corpus albicans get lost in the medium of estroma. Now, the one point is that this ovum, that is the female gamete, which is the result of meiosis II, clear? And when secondary oocyte will divide, then ovum is formed and the second polar cell is formed. Sometime it has been seen that, and it is written in the few texts that the formation or the division of meiosis II takes place within the tubular structure of ampulla. So this is the complete structure of the ovary. That's all.